Good evening, everyone. Thank you for tuning in with Alexandria Monge, your realtor. As usual, every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Tune in with me so you can find out about the latest tips for buyers and sellers, sometimes also future tenants, to avoid you problems for the future. Remember that problems is equivalent to time and money. I'm giving a little bit of time for people to join us. Frank, thank you so much for joining. And again, as I mentioned at the beginning, I'm going to be discussing some tips for buyers and sellers to avoid, if you're in this process, avoid any problems that at the end of the day is equivalent to money and time. And Auk, it's a pleasure to see you again, my friend. And okay, first of all, don't forget, again, every Wednesday at 7 p.m., as usual, this is my second live broadcast of 2017, and I'm going to be sharing with you during the whole year very important information. And Damaris, thank you for watching. Juan Carlos, thank you. Ismir, my friend, thank you for tuning in. So let's talk about buyers, okay? There are very important facts that you should take into consideration when you are starting the process of buying. Let's say, for example, that you pictured your dream home, okay? You've been working with an agent, hopefully that's me, and you've been looking for a house until you finally found your dream home. But before you place that offer, as an agent, I would recommend the following. And you tell me, maybe, any of you have an idea, and that's what I'm trying to do right now. Make this a little bit more interactive. It's not only about me talking, but maybe you have an idea as well. Do you have any idea of, thank you, my friend. Do you have any idea of what are the time frames, the best time frames to go see a property before you go ahead and place that offer? Anybody can tell me? Anybody? What would be the time frames that you would choose before placing an offer on that house that you found, that you've been looking for months? What would be the time frame? Okay, let me give you some tips. The first time that I would recommend is 8 o'clock in the morning, okay? Why? Because that's rush hour. You want to know, how is rush hour around that home that you're planning to buy? How's the traffic? I mean, if there's too much going on in the area. So one of the time frames would be 8 a.m. Another time frame would be 10 a.m. Okay, 10 a.m. is because the rush hour has already passed. So you want to go around the neighborhood and see, okay, around your house, who's basically still in the house, if there's people outside, or if there's people that maybe don't work, or they're just there, hanging out. You want to find out a little bit more of the area. Then you look at 3 p.m. Why 3 p.m.? Very easy. Between 2 and 3, it's a perfect time to go around that neighborhood where you're planning to place that offer, because it's school time, is where the schools come out. You want to make sure you find out if the traffic in some way is going to affect the surroundings of your home. If the traffic is too heavy, it's really going to be up to you if you're going to want to put up with those limits on speed in that area all the time that you get out of your house or when you go to your house. Okay, another time would be around 5:30. And why 5:30? Because that's the commute time. Alexandria, thank you for watching. Carolina, thank you. 5:30, it's a commute time. So that's where everybody gets out of work and they're going, heading to their homes. So you make believe you're heading to your future home and find out, if it's easy to get to your home, or there's so much traffic and so many things going on around that it's going to take you you're probably like 6 blocks away, but it's going to take you an hour to get there. Maybe you don't want to consider that your future home. Okay. And then we have nighttime. Definitely you want to find out the safety. Conrado, thank you for watching. Safety in that area, you want to look out and, look at the neighborhood at nighttime. I mean, is it safe? Does it have a lot of lighting around? You want to make sure if there's any, still traffic. You want to know what the neighborhood looks like at nighttime when everybody's already arriving. Gloria, gracias por sintonizarte conmigo. Okay, and then, I mean, if you want to go extreme, they suggest 3 a.m. Personally, I'm a sleeper. I would not go around 3 a.m. I think that the latest that I would go would probably be between 12 and 1 a.m. And why is that? Because sometimes there's constructions around the area that take place during, after hours, like after 12 a.m. So you want to pass by probably 12, 1 a.m. and find out what the area looks like, if there's any construction going on, if you have any noise affecting you like airplanes, if you live in New York, maybe the train, etc. So those are a little tips. If you're planning to place an offer on a property, I suggest, and I would suggest this to you as an agent, pass around these time frames and figure out if this would be the appropriate home for you to live. Okay. Another thing, many buyers ask me, my child goes to X and X high school, or I want him to go to certain elementary school. Okay, very easy. This is something for you to keep in mind. And, if you forget, at least you have the website that you can go to, which is dateschools.net. In the upper bar, there's a section that's called schools. When you click there, you will see another tab that says schools in your neighborhood. When you click there, you put the address of the property that you're planning to buy, and it would automatically show you the schools that will be, that will be near to the property that you're buying, or, that your kids would have to go to, the assigned schools for that area. So remember, dateschools.net. Okay. And then another thing that I wanted to go ahead and mention, I'm going to be creating an event. Soon you will be knowing it's going to be in the month of February. If you're a first-time buyer, I know there's so many buyers out there that are asking themselves, how is the process? This is too complicated. It's just simply that they don't have no orientation. I will be doing a workshop in the month of February, which I will be advertising as this event is going to take place. And if you're a first-time buyer and you need the help, please feel free to register. I'm going to put all the information for you to register, who you're going to call to, so they can take your information and know how many people will be attending this event. Also, don't be scared if you have credit problems, because, it's not a surprise. After 2008, many people were left with credit problems. And it's not the end of the world. We just have to find a way to improve and fix these credit issues. So in this event, in this workshop, we will have somebody there talking about how to repair your credit. And if that's your case, they will give you the service one-to-one on how to improve your credit and what are the steps that you must take. So then once you have your credit ready, I jump in and I take you to find your home or your dream home, okay? And we will be also talking about the financial part. There's many incentives out there for first-time buyers that people are not aware, and you can benefit from it. For example, I know there's a program, I'm not gonna go into detail, but that's something that they'll probably mention for Miami-Dade County employees. They're giving great benefits and incentives if you're one of them. There's also incentives for closing costs if you're a first-time buyer, etc., etc. So keep tuned in. I will be posting again. This is going to be in the month of February. I think it's February 18th, but I will post the information so you can all, whoever is interested, can go ahead and register and attend this event. It will take place on a Saturday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. And like that, you know what? Knowledge is power. And when you have the information you need, you will avoid so many mistakes that can cost you lots of money. Okay. So that's for the buyers. Now we're going to jump in with sellers. Okay. And this is by experience, being 16 years in the real estate industry. I'm not going to say I've seen it all, but I've, been able to experience many situations that have been a little bit of uncomfortable for me. And for example, if you're a seller, okay, and you're planning to sell your property and you know that your house has a roof issue or your house has termites, and I'm your agent, please disclose, 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 disclose. 3 times I repeat, disclose, disclose, disclose. Any material fact that can affect your property, Fritz, my friend, thank you for watching. Any material fact that can affect your property or the sale of your property, you must disclose by law, okay? And you know what? It's better that you disclose at the beginning so we know how to handle the process, because the problem is not going to go away. You don't want to have birth pains during the process of your contract, okay? So if you know your house has termites, what do you think is going to happen when the buyer comes along, puts a contract on your property, and they bring an inspector? You think the termites are going to go spend the night somewhere else? I don't think so. They're going to stay right there in the same place. That's going to come out to the light sooner or later. So if you mention these issues that affect your property from the beginning, and you tell me as an agent, look, we did a tenting, we had termites, I'm not sure we have them, we'll figure out a way to confirm if that's the case. And we'll go ahead and disclose it, and we'll see what other positive things we can take out of the property. If you have had any leaks, disclose it, my friend. You know why? Because once that inspector goes up there, they're going to check. If you try to patch a little piece up, they will know. Many of these inspectors, I suggest it's that way, they're certified. And they will find out if you try to do any patching up on that roof. You want to make sure you disclose, so you don't find yourself maybe in a future lawsuit, or maybe you don't find yourself in any problems that can cause you headaches during the process of your contract. Like I say, birth pains, okay? And then I'm going to ask you a question, sellers, if anybody's planning to sell. For example, you receive a contract, okay, and you decide that you want to go ahead and counter offer. Let's say your house is priced for $300,000 and they sent you an offer for $250,000 and you're counting offer $280,000. In that process, when you send the counter offer, okay, and there's an acceptance date on that contract and it hasn't expired, you do, through your agent, you send a counter offer, okay, for $280,000. And then while that's taking place and they haven't confirmed anything to you, another offer comes in for a full price, $300,000. Full price what you were asking. Are you able to withdraw from that offer? Does anybody know? Can anybody tell me? As a seller, can you legally withdraw from that offer? The answer is yes. Yes, you can withdraw from that offer. Because while you sent that counter offer, you received another one, and the final offer has not been finalized with signatures. Until that final offer has not been finalized with final signatures, you can withdraw. You can withdraw and accept a better offer. Okay. Now the problem is, if you went ahead and accepted the $280,000 and signed signature here, initials, blah, 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 you sent that offer to the other agents or to the buyer's agent, guess what? That's already considered an executed contract, and there's no way around that. So that's a second tip for sellers, so you know what your situation is, okay? Another thing is, if you're thinking of selling, remember this is the perfect time to make that decision. Tax season is coming along. People are going to start receiving money, and the market starts getting a little bit more active. So if you're thinking of selling, don't forget, call me, Alexandria Monge, 786-344-5411. I'll be more than happy to help you, guide you through the process, but this is the perfect time to start marketing your house. Another thing, seller, don't try to bargain your agent's commission. Commissions are usually a 6%. 3% to the buyer's agent, 3% to the listing agent. And if you want to limit your market exposure, be my guest, pay a 4%. I don't work for a 4%. That's a fact. But there's many agents that do, just to get your listing. And guess what? They use your listing to market or to get other clients for other properties. So you don't want that. Don't bargain the payment of your commission to agents, because I will tell you by experience, when I go show a property or 5 properties and I see this one is paying a 3%, and then the sixth property that I'm going to be showing, or I was planning to show, was pays, let's say, a 1.5%. Do you think I would show your property? Of course not. Why would I show Mr. Seller your property if you're paying a 1.5 when the one around the corner from you is paying a 3%? No, I live off this 100%, 4 kids, and I need to work and live off my profession. So definitely not. Don't limit your exposure. It's very important that you understand why it's not good to bargain the commission that you pay an agent, okay? Now remember that in exchange of this commission that you're paying, you're getting obtaining a very powerful tool. You're getting the services of a professional that can avoid you from making so many mistakes that's going to cost you so much money. So it's something that if I were you, I would definitely consider, okay? And then at the end of the day, also sellers, remember there's also the safety issue out there. You don't want to be exposing your families, your children by putting a sign out there and, you know, you think you can do it all, but you're usually working. And we are living now in a society that unfortunately there's so much unsafetyness out there, and somebody eventually can call just to find out if you're home or not. But when you're working with an agent, you know, that phone call is going to go directly to us, and we're going to be filtering that person, knowing if they're usually working with another agent, if they're pre-approved, if they're serious buyers. You don't want any type of people or strangers walking through your home, the privacy of your home, where you have your family, your kids. That's definitely, I would never do that. So again, you know, take that into consideration. Think again that, when you're hiring a real estate agent, you're hiring a professional that's going to orientate you from beginning to end. And that if you start seeing it money-wise, at the end of the day, it's nothing for all the mistakes that you can avoid and all the headaches that you can avoid. So don't forget, buyers and sellers, again, there's many tips that I'm going to be sharing with you every Wednesday at 7 p.m. And I'm going to be creating this event for first-time buyers. So if you have any comments, any feedback, please do not hesitate in contacting me. You know, send me your feedback. If there's any specific subject that you would like to talk about, you know, feel free to go ahead and tell me what you would like for me to mention or anything like that. Before I leave, I think it's something important. I know I was going to talk only about buyers and sellers, but also I'm just going to fill this one in. If you're a tenant and or a future tenant that you're planning to, rent a property and you are from the military service, okay, there's something that's from last year is currently taking place, and that if you go and you see a house that you want to rent and you are from the military service and there's a rental process that you have to start, there's now a maximum of 7 days that the landlord has to give you a response, whether it's to deny you or to approve you. And if they deny you, they must tell you in writing what is their basis for that denial. Okay, so now you know, even for condos and associations, those that are maybe property managers or, of several properties, whatever, just make sure that, when you see a rental application coming in from a U.S. military service member, you better make sure that, you comply with those 7 days of response, because otherwise you're going to be violating the law. So anyway, it's been a pleasure. It's great to be with you all again. And don't forget to tune in every Wednesday, 7 p.m. And keep tuned in for that event that will take place in the month of February. Take care. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you guys for being here with me. And if you know of anybody that wants to buy or sell, please share this video. I'm sure that something they will learn. That's what we're here for, to help each other, right? Bye-bye. God bless.